It started with a post, a normal post. At least, that's how it looked at first. Late one evening in October 2016, friends scrolling through Facebook saw something that made them pause. It was written by 31-year-old Sherri Papini. Having a mental breakdown. Short, vague, unsettling. Then, silence. No replies, no follow-up, no clarification. By the next day, Sherri was gone. Her husband, Keith Papini, said she left their home in Redding, California for a jog. She didn't take her phone for music. She didn't take her car. Just a run around the neighborhood. When she didn't return, panic set in. Keith used the Find My iPhone app to track her phone. It was found on the side of the road, headphones carefully wrapped around it. Placed, not dropped. Placed. That detail mattered. Search teams flooded the area. Helicopters hovered. Neighbors formed search parties. A young mother of two. Missing. It gripped the country fast. Then 3 weeks later, at Thanksgiving morning, Sherri was found on the side of a highway, bruised, bound, malnourished. She told police she had been kidnapped by two Hispanic women. She described chains, abuse, captivity. The story exploded nationally. A mother abducted while jogging, held for 22 days? The media covered it nonstop, but investigators noticed something strange. There was no evidence of a struggle where her phone was found. No witnesses saw her being forced into a vehicle. Surveillance cameras from nearby homes showed nothing, and then there was her behavior after returning home. Details in her story shifted slightly over time. Descriptions changed. Timelines didn't always line up. Years passed. The case stayed open. Then, in 2020, investigators received a major break. DNA found on Sherri's clothing was run through genealogy databases. It didn't match two mysterious female abductors. It matched a man from her past, an ex-boyfriend. When investigators confronted him, his version of events was completely different. He said Sherri had asked him to pick her up. She wasn't kidnapped. She had voluntarily left. She stayed with him for weeks. And when she decided to go back home, she injured herself. She created the narrative. In 2022, Sherri Papini was arrested and charged with making false statements and mail fraud. She eventually admitted the kidnapping was a hoax. The story that once terrified a community was staged. But here's what makes this case so unsettling. For weeks, people were afraid. Parents kept children closer. Joggers changed routes. Communities were on edge. And it wasn't real. Why would someone fake something so extreme? Investigators believe she wanted attention, control, escape. But the emotional fallout was real. Trust was shaken. Resources were wasted, and the public struggled with something uncomfortable. Sometimes the victim isn't a victim, and sometimes the scariest stories aren't about violence. They're about manipulation. If you're still watching, pause for a second. Think about how quickly we believe what we see online. A post, a headline, a dramatic narrative, and how hard it is to question it when emotions take over. Comment below. Were you surprised when the truth came out? Because in this case, the kidnapping wasn't the mystery. The motive was.